There is 1 month left until 2025. Wow. Guys, I don't know if it's just me, but I remember the 1st of January 2024 like it was yesterday. I went to a Soul Cycle class with my best friend and it was Taylor Swift themed. So we went first thing in the morning, started off New Year's Day, like active wellness. And now we're basically in December. Christmas is around and I don't even know what the hell is going on, but the year's flown by and I feel like we have to reflect on it. In this episode, I am going to give you tips on how to plan ahead for your 2025 so that you know exactly what your goals are going into the new year, okay? Because I've done this many times where it comes around January, New Year comes around, and I start then making my goals in January. So I'm kind of already behind. And I feel as though we need to make sure that we master this December and we make sure we know exactly what we want out of 2025, because it can't just be me, but this has been quite a rough year. This has been quite an intense year, okay? There's been a lot going on in the world and a lot of big life changes for some. I made a vision board last year and I didn't do a very good one, and I've got it here to show you guys, and we're going to talk through how and why it is very important to plan for your new year. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. So I don't know about you, but I'm very much someone who sets really big goals that I just end up always falling short of because I just set extremely unrealistic things. And I don't mean life goals necessarily. I just mean, let's say I plan out my day and I schedule like 5 to 10 things that I have to get done in half an hour. And then of course I'm not going to meet that because it's just not possible. So then I'm already behind. So there is an element to planning realistically because it's super easy to think that you can achieve more than you can in a small period of time. But that is why it's very important to structure what goals you're going to set for the new year. For those who aren't watching, I basically had a big A2 piece of paper and I wrote down all my goals and what goals I wanted to set for myself. And I think there are many important elements when you're looking to set goals that you have to think about. You need to figure out what kind of strategy when it comes to goal setting works best for you. Is it vision boards? Because it might not be. Vision boards isn't for everyone. I think vision boards work well when you've got that insight in your room. Maybe you've got it hanging up your board and you're visualizing that every day. So you kind of get reminded all the time of what it is that you want to achieve this year, rather than just stuff it in a corner and let it collect dust, because then you're going to forget about it. So when you're setting goals, especially with a vision board, you need to think about different sections of your life, like your career, your personal life, your relationships. It's very important you don't just set a goal that's like, oh, I want to have a thriving business and be in Forbes 30 under 30 without actually having steps on how you're going to get there. Okay? Don't get me wrong, that would be amazing, but that's probably not going to happen to most of us anytime soon. I think that one of the keys to creating a good set of goals for the new year is implementing deadlines to what your goals are. If you say that your goal is to get promoted, okay, in your job, then you need to set deadlines as to what you're going to do to get promoted. Set mini deadlines throughout the year. So maybe, you have to deliver on this specific project, which is above and beyond what your boss is asking from you. So you maybe set that deadline that you're going to get that done by March, instead of just, I'm going to let it sweep away and keep going until December. No, you need to have mini deadlines and check-ins every 3 months. That's what I think is the best way to do it. So break down your goals, have check-ins with yourself and your vision board every 3 months. I think that is the sweet spot. So you remember what it is that you're trying to achieve and you just keep visualizing that, right? I'm going to come back in another episode with my actual made vision board because I think that's going to be really useful for you guys. But yeah, so you want to have deadlines within your goals, within your year. Think of your goal that you write on your vision board as the summit on a mountain. You need to climb the mountain and have different checkpoints. So you need checkpoints to get to that big goal, okay? And again, that's just deadlines, right? You need to set your own deadlines, which isn't easy to do, but no one's going to set them for you. And that's the difficult thing. So you have to be disciplined with yourself on that. Another important thing before we start actually thinking about what goals we want to achieve is reflecting on the past year. Look back on this year. If you set a vision board and you made one, look at that vision board and look at what you actually achieved. You probably achieved more than you thought you were capable of, and you probably didn't achieve all of your goals. So what's important is to think, okay, if the way I was trying to achieve that goal didn't work, let's restructure and reframe that strategy so I can achieve it in a way that's possible. Before you start writing your vision board, which I'm going to do, is write a list of the amazing things that you've done this year, like the goals that you have ticked off and the things that you failed to do or you just couldn't get around to. The strength that you might have gained over the past year is enormous, but you just don't really see it until you sit and reflect on your year. So definitely give yourself some time to think about what you've achieved, how that felt achieving that goal. Was it really everything you wanted it to be? You need to group your goals, right? And a lot of people use the SMART framework, which is specific, measurable, achievable, and time bound. That's what's in the SMART framework, and that works for a lot of people when you're setting your goals. So we're just going to take a look at my vision board and see what I actually achieved. One of my big goals for this year was to create a podcast. So obviously I've been wanting to do this for ages. This has been in the works for a long time now. I don't know if I thought I was actually going to achieve it, but here we are. I've got my podcast, the 20 Survival Guide. We are thriving. I love all of you. So that's something that actually came to life. And I think having this in my sight every day did help internalize and kind of manifest it. But in order for me to have achieved this goal, I set mini goals to work towards this, which included talking in front of the camera 10 minutes a week prior to me even doing this, just so I could get used to hearing my own voice, because honestly, it's actually hell. Editing 30 minutes a week, that was number 2, because I needed to learn how to edit. Another one was get a job, tick, I have a job. Get a high 2-1 in my degree, tick, did that. And my other big goal was travel to 5 different countries. So I think I did that. But then I had mini goals inside of that, which was mental health goals and fitness goals. One of my goals this year was to read 10 books. And I have to say I haven't even read one book yet, which is criminal, I know, because reading is literally what I say you should do for self-growth, and it's really important for learning. You can see how I set 4 big goals, which was getting a job, starting a podcast, getting a 2-1 in my degree, and also traveling to 5 different countries. Then you set smaller goals within that. Goals for your health, your wellness. Make sure that they're achievable, but also that you're reaching for something big. Like, it's not going to be easy to get there, but you can get there. Don't make your big goal to be reading 10 books a year. Like, that's a small goal, okay? That's a smaller goal. Because yes, that's a great goal to have, but I think you can reach for bigger goals, you know? When you're creating your vision board, something that I didn't do this year, which I think is very important to do for next year, is to make it aesthetically pleasing. Because yes, I wrote everything down, but that's not very cute. Like, that doesn't make me really want to refer to it. And if you're going to refer to your goals and check in with them every 3 months, you want to have something that looks nice, okay? So I think there is an element of cutting out things from magazines or printing out pictures and cutting them out and sticking them on and kind of making a collage. That's very useful because it makes you want to refer back to it. So it could be, you know, what do your goals look like? Is it a new car? Is it a gym membership? I mean, let's be honest. The gyms in January are going to be packed, okay? We all know that. Everyone is going to go back and think that they are this fitness, wellness, absolute queen, and that's great, but then it clears out by February and it's just like a known fact, okay? So are you going to be the person that's going to be there in February? That's a decision for you to make yourself, but you could just be a January gym person, okay? That's where I'm saying maybe don't just go and get a gym membership if you know you're not going to use it. Set realistic goals and know yourself, because it's all well and good to be like, oh, I'm going to be on my fitness journey. I'm going to go and smash the gym every day and then leave the gym and forget about your membership once February comes, okay? That's not something we want to do. We don't want to really waste money either. There's a big part to say about having an aesthetic vision board. You want to add personal touches. You want to add things that inspire you. Maybe it's traveling to a specific country with a friend and add pictures of that country, places you want to go, restaurants you've seen that you want to go to, things that just comfort you, but also scare you. Because as everyone says, your dreams are supposed to scare you. And I really do like that saying. You want them to be big. You want them to be bold. You want them to scare you when you're cutting them out and pasting them and printing them and putting them on your board. You want it to be like, whoa, that's a big one. That's how it should be. One of the biggest things I want you to take away from this episode is tracking your goals. This is why people don't achieve their goals. They don't track them. So you need to be going back and tracking these goals every 3 months in the year, which is really hard, but that's why most people don't do it, and most people don't actually achieve their vision board goals. And you have to check in with yourself and see how much progress you've made every 3 months. If you set a reminder in your phone, you're going to know that you have to go back to that board every 3 months. That's very important, okay? So I would definitely suggest doing that. The secret to a good vision board is organization, discipline, and motivation. I think those are the main 3 things that you need in order to create a good vision board. You need to be organized, right? Because you need to make sure you have it ready before the new year comes. So you need to have your goals out. You need to have them written down. You need to have your vision board before it comes January. You need to have discipline, which means that you have to keep going back every 3 months and tracking your progress and seeing how much you've done in order to achieve that goal. And that takes discipline, because it's not something that you're going to want to do. You're going to probably forget about it, out of sight, out of mind, go back into your old habits, okay? So you need discipline. You also need motivation, because motivation is what's going to make you choose your goals to be really big and scary, the dreams that you have to be big, reach for big things. Because to be honest, everything is in your control. Like, you have full control to do whatever it is that you want to do. So you have to just be the kind of person who's like, I'm going to set big goals so that they scare me, but then I'm going to work for them. But at the end of the day, motivation isn't always going to be there. That's why discipline is key. That's why with the gym, people stop going after January, because they don't have motivation anymore. You need to keep having discipline if you're going to the gym in February. The people who go to the gym in February have discipline and they don't have motivation anymore. Like, it's tiring. No one wants to get up at 6 a.m. all the freaking time. Those are the guys and the girls who have discipline. Motivation is gone by February, okay? It's true. It's true. I also have to say, small side note, I'm really excited for Christmas, but Christmas can be stressful, especially when you're hosting it and you got all these family members over. This is why I really like Christmas abroad. Unpopular opinion, Christmas abroad is the best. You don't have to deal with hosting. You don't have to deal with cooking. You don't have to deal with any of that shit, which I know sounds really nice, but when it gets to the time and there's family and it's pressure, you just want to be away. Like, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to put myself through more stress than I need. I just want a big glass of red wine and some stuffing. Okay, I wonder what your favorite part of the Christmas dinner is, because mine is definitely stuffing, and I think that's got to be most people's favorite. Stuffing is 100% the best part. I'm now making myself really hungry, but I don't think Winter Wonderland is a must this year, okay? If you're going to go to Winter Wonderland with your partner, go, enjoy it. But I think it's just tired. I think Winter Wonderland as a concept, it's overrated, it's expensive as hell, and it's just not even that good. The rides are the same every year pretty much. It's so freaking crowded and it just is like so unpleasant. A lot of people who are from London think London is basically the whole UK. And I can definitely say that I've been one of those people at some point in my life. But there are other parts of the UK which do Christmas really well, like Manchester Christmas market, Birmingham Christmas market. Those are supposed to be really good. I think there are a lot of people who live in London who are extremely centered and sheltered. It's like it's London or nothing, and nothing else in the UK is good apart from London. That's not true. Like, there is so many other parts in the UK which are worth visiting, and people are going to hate me for this. London's great, but it's extremely overpriced and it's so expensive. And you can go to Manchester, have a lovely little Christmas. They have a lovely little Christmas market that I need to go visit. This was just a little intro into reminding you guys this Wednesday to start thinking about what you want to achieve in 2025. We're going to have another episode that's a little bit closer to the time of the new year where I've structured my vision board goals, and I'm going to show you and kind of walk you through it as a check-in. So go and think about 2025. As much as you've got your festive dinners, you've got your festive work stuff, don't forget about 2025 and start planning ahead, okay? And I shall see you next week. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day.